Hey, what's up guys? Enspirable here. Today I'm gonna do a patch review of 1.32.10, which is the latest patch that Blizzard intends to implement into Warcraft 3 in about the mid-April. So let's just jump right into it, man. A lot of interesting things into this patch actually, so yeah, let's go. So, luck to everyone. First, I'd like to give you a quick update on where we are on ranked plays, leaderboards, and player profiles. The Warcraft team is committed to delivering you these features. However, due to the nature of the world today, it's taking longer than we planned. We thank you, our passionate community, for understanding and continuing to support Warcraft 3. Today we'll begin publicly testing the patch 1.32.10, which addresses a critical bug fix that allows players to exploit information from the opposing player by using rally points and the fog of war. Thank you all to the players who reached out to inform us about this issue. Additionally, with the ESL Pro League warping up for 2020, we've decided to make some balance update to address some key community feedback about item balance, item pricing, and some pain points for both human and undead. We also revisited previous changes. Once again, thank you all the community contributors who continue to put out the content and send us great feedback. Please test these changes via the PDR, as we'll be monitoring it and calibrating throughout the PDR phase. Please remember that these changes are at work in progress and subject to change, so please continue to provide feedback. We hope to release this patch sometime in mid-April, depending on how the feedback and testing goes. Alright, so yeah. First of all, man, I just want to say that, you know, it's kind of funny because like Blizzard like still doesn't have a ladder. We're in March now, so like a year, 2 months and a half later, you know, we still don't have any ladder, which is kind of sad. But you know, I mean, we still have the champions for now, so I'm not gonna start roasting Blizzard next 10 minutes saying like, oh, the Wii champion made the ladder, and you know, in a week, and the Blizzard can't even make it in the year. I'm here really much to talk about the balance change actually. Oh, by the way, like if you're looking at me, you're like, God, it's like you're so red, you look different, man. Yeah, I know, man. I cook in a tanning bed today, so yeah, I look a bit different, man. Alright, let's just run into it, man. Human, improve lumber tech requirement, remove advanced lumber tech requirement, change from castle to keep. So basically, human players have been complaining that they do lack lumber against undead because they get constantly push at their expo, you know, against DK, or they lose a lot of peasant, you know, try to expo and everything. So their lumber is kind of hurt, and it's kind of hard for them to go territory and everything. But usually what they would do is they would grab a shredder, and that would fix all the issues. Now with this lumber tech, with the lumber being more, basically I think what it's gonna do is they will be able to like harvest much more lumber quicker, and probably will be even able to skip shredder, which is a massive improvement for them because shredder is quite expensive. And like the first minute you have a shredder, you're kind of like broke, you know, because you spend a lot of gold on it, you spend like 100 lumber. So yeah, man, I think it's definitely like gonna improve the human macro whatsoever, which is kind of hard to do, you know, in the first place. So listen, man, is it a change that I care a lot about? At first I was like, I feel like this change is gonna get overshadowed by the other changes coming, so you know, I'm kind of open-minded to try it. I'm not gonna complain about it. We'll just see how it goes, man. Developers note, in the versus Undead matchup, the human player is generally expected to lose some peasant throughout the early. That's true. Go to mid-game. The human player also must invest in a lot of wood for early defense and use militia quite frequently to defend, which causes them to have gold to wood ratio imbalance. This change will help human players balance their economy and make it slightly easier to transition to the later part of the game and unlock their key unit. Yeah, that's pretty much what I said, right? Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So knights now have Sundering Blade. So Sundering Blade is an upgrade that makes your knights run quicker. And they also gives you extra damage against heavy armor. This was implemented in the first place to help against mountain giants and to help against the fiends that has frost armor, plus, you know, like defeat can constantly coil while they're pushing the expo. So now basically it is one less upgrade that human will have to spend like their economy on. So as soon as the first knight is going to come out, it's going to be a very effective one, you know, rather than like having to wait, because the normal knights are not very good. Like I'll be honest, like they kind of get hard counter by frost armor and whatever. So you know, they definitely do need like a speed buff, or like maybe even like a damage buff against fiend with frost armor. My only problem with this is I feel like it's a bit too good, and I would like to see Blizzard like be a little bit more consistent with like how they change their like melee units. Because Torrens a few patches ago got given Pulverize by default. So Torrens, you know, as we know, like they have an upgrade called Pulverize, which you can still do, by the way. But now I think, I'm not too sure what the statistics are exactly, but let's pretend that Torrens now, without even upgrading Pulverize, they already have a Pulverize that gives you, let's say, 25% of the actual Pulverize upgrade, right? So I would like to see knights, if you're gonna buff them, take maybe like 25% of Sundering Blade, you know, and apply them to knight just normally, like a normal knight, but like give them Sundering Blade, like 25% of the actual Sundering Blade upgrade, you know, and then give them the option to upgrade the real Sundering Blade so they can be like even more effective, you know what I mean? So I felt like that's kind of what I would like to see, because that's what I did with Torrens. And I feel like having Sundering Blade like by default is a bit too strong. It's not like crazily like better, but I definitely do think that it's just betterment, because human can produce like more knights that way, and they have to skip one upgrade. So that's one more knight they have in their army like much quicker, you know? So that's definitely like a massive difference when you're being like when you're like at that stage of the game for human. So yeah, I wouldn't mind like having them like having Sundering Blade by default, but like don't give them the full Sundering Blade upgrade. That's so dumb. It's like if Torrent were like spawning with a full pulverize, or like Abomination spawns with Disease Cloud, or Bear spawned with legit regeneration, you know what I mean? Or like they would just spawn with like the Druid Claw form, which would be like way too dumb, you know what I mean? So I would like to see like this consistency being applied to other races as well. Seems to be like bias right there. Developers note, with the addition of Sundering Blade passive, we've really seen a lot more knight usage, and we like that a lot. However, it takes a long time for knights to come online with their multiple upgrades. We felt allowing, I mean, it's not like multiple upgrades, it's just like the HP buff on knights is definitely like it's a good upgrade, but like you don't even need it, because like knights already have like a lot of HP. So I don't know why they say that it takes a long time for knights to come online with their multiple upgrades. Like what upgrade? Like the HP upgrade is like not even like they don't even rush it, I think. Like human players usually rush like Sundering Blade. We found out that allowing Sundering Blade from people knights by default allows them to have an immediate impact when built, when giving them some uniqueness as a late game. I'm not too really down with this. Like I'm down to give them, you know, like a little bit of a speed buff, whatever, man. They're already fucking quick, by the way. They're already quick enough. This change, I don't really fuck with it, but yeah, I guess like I play Undead, you know, I might be biased, but yeah, I know it's not the main issue that people have right now with this patch. Press the spell range, increase from 600 to 700. Developers note, change the overall meta of move players toward favoring range units in certain matchups. So in this case, they're talking more about like headhunters, with shaman pretty much, because like headhunters have like massive range, and I'm pretty sure like this is more to get to counter headhunters, I would guess. We noticed that whenever a priest will try to cast a spell, it will immediately get focused down by pressing damage and be killed immediately. This slight increase in range will improve the usability and quality of life for priests. Yeah, I mean, priests are kind of easy to get, you know, you just right-click them once, they die. Personally, I don't really have a problem with this. Like, I know that Devour got buffed like a few patches ago. Well, am I live? Okay. I wasn't sure if I was streaming again. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, like, Devour got buffed, and it dispels, like, way quicker now. So, like, I don't mind, you know, having, Priest getting that sort of like range. So I mean, I'm fine with that, you know, it's not too much of a big deal. Okay, now we're getting in a very dangerous zone here. Scout Tower, Guard Tower, Cannon Tower, Arcane Tower repair rate is now 5 seconds faster. Developers note, this was a change we tested in previous PDR, but pull away from to see how the previous patch performed. Since then, we've seen players shift more to range units, and we feel this change is needed to help human defend against certain pushes. Currently, even if human reacts immediately to a threat with inflow of peasant, it is still not enough to prevent the towers from going down. So, I just wanna show you guys this, to show you guys I've done my homework a little bit before I did this little review. So, Remo for Back to Warcraft actually did some maths, and he said that correction about my earlier post, with repair rate and math Blizzard coding, it gets a little bit confusing, but here now the actual effect of the repair rate change. So Live Scout Tower has a 20-second like repair, and then PDR Scout Tower 20-second repair is 266 HP. So basically, if you repair for 20 seconds, you basically get 266 HP by one peasant. But even player usually like take many peasant to repair, right? To save towers when a big target down by 100 players. That is a 32% faster repair. So in the previous PDR patch, I actually tested with Cruncher. It was like a very good human player from North America. We actually tried to test like how effective the repair rate was on towers, and it was absolutely ridiculous. Like, I feel like buffing towers is really very dangerous for the meta of the game. Because we're gonna go back to like a meta where like human are gonna tower push, which they already do against Night Elf currently. We might see it being more common against Orc as well. Also, you have like these all-in pushes like Fire Lord with foodies against Orc, which is very powerful and very used a lot, and a lot of people have trouble like losing countering it. Even in like the best players in the world like have a hard time against it sometimes. So I think it's very, very dangerous to actually buff towers. Honestly, I think towers are fine the way they are. They're definitely like very like made of paper sometimes when they're not fully built, but I feel like you're entering a very dangerous zone with this. And I don't think anybody wants to go back to that tower meta. Maybe buff it, but like by like 5% maybe. Like start slow. Like you don't want to give them a 32%. That's like 1/4, like 1/3 better, you know. That's so crazy. Like start at like 5, 6, 7%, and then you see how it goes from there. If it's still like really bad, then you maybe buff it by 5%, and eventually like, you reach like a point where it's very good. Like I think Blizzard, like they really love to like overbuff stuff, and it often leads to like really, really rotten metas, like the Crypt Lord, the Keeper, the Keep of the Grove meta, the Mountain Giants meta that we had like a few years ago. Or like the archers and huntresses. So like I want to see Blizzard like try to just be like less aggressive with the changes, because some changes like that can really ruin like an entire meta. Like, and they don't do patches very often. So like if something like is like really too strong, it will stuck with it for like 8 months. So yeah. Now up to the siege engine tanks. So you know, a scout tower plus tanks. You know, like one goes to the other, right? Siege engine tanks, expense bounty reduced from 85 to 60. Developers note while we... can you guys see? Okay. Developers note while we want to reduce the overall effectiveness of certain siege engine. So siege engine are the tanks pretty much. We realized that due to the inflexibility of our experience leveling system, setting the bounty at 85 was too high. There has been some ongoing community sentiment that tanks were in a good place previously, so we've reduced the experience bounty. We'll continue monitoring this May and actual changes. Honestly, man, the more I read these changes, like I've literally heard like all the changes that I see right there. It's everything I've heard from Pod Stream. Like it's so great. It's obvious, like so obvious that all these changes are being pushed by somebody that has a big name in community. But like does anybody really want to go back to the tank meta, mass tower, and everything? It's just so cancer, man. Nobody wants to play that. Like, tanks are boring to play for human. I mean, we still see tanks from time to time. The thing is that having like tanks being like brought back to what it used to be is going to make human player play even like only like tank strategies, right? Like tanks are still being used like by human players, but they're not like mass. Like they make like a few of them, right? Just to harass like bases as they're fighting. So I still think that tanks giving a lot of XP is not too bad for human, because tanks anyway, like you make like 2 of them and then you know you go harass the other expo while you're fighting, and like that's how tanks should be used. So like they have it, like they're effective, but like they're not like the main focus of the strategy, you know what I mean? So I feel like towers and tanks, man, like this is something that nobody wants to go to. I'm sure even human players like don't even want to go there. But anyways, Night of Change, Root of the Claw, starting mana increase from 100 to 125. So basically now when the bears comes out of their Ancient of Lore, they're gonna have 125 mana, which allows them to cast Rejuvenation right away. Which, by the way, I don't have a problem with. It doesn't really affect me that much. Developers note a small quality of life change that was requested by community, which also helps Master Bears have slightly more utility right away. Yeah, so like normally you would have to wait like a few seconds before you have enough mana to read you, but now I think I mean, honestly, it's just not very like. Honestly, it's not even like a very important change. It's probably like the least impactful change in a patch. I'm quite disappointed to like honestly see that Night Elf only has 1 changes. I very love Elf player, and honestly, I think like people collectively agree that Mountain Giants are definitely boring and very strong. However, Night Elf players are kind of forced to use them against Undead, against human as well. And sometimes even against Orc for like another strategy. So I would love to see bears being slightly buff. Maybe the damage. Maybe I think the damage is what they should buff personally. Maybe +2 again. Maybe more HP. They already have a lot of HP though. Maybe +1 armor. I'm a bit disappointed to see that Mountain Giants are still gonna be the main unit for Night Elves in the future. So yeah, I wish we saw a little bit more of elf changes. Or maybe like archers being looked into. Now Undead, now we're entering my zone now. I collect hit points for generational while Blight reduces from 4 to 3 HP per second. So people complain a lot that Undead base is like really hard to harass because Acolytes regenerate HP very quick. So by having like Acolyte regenerating less HP on Blight is going to basically encourage more people to harass us. The issue with Undead is that we have nothing to either Acolytes from. You know, if you play human, you have the militia. Which by the way, militia is not that good. Like human base is like very easily harassable anyway. Also, as Night Elf, you have Wisp, which you can detonate. You can make buildings. You can hide in buildings. You can micro them in your gold mine. And they're very quick, and you have Moon Wells to heal them. As far as Orc goes, they just hide in burrows for the peons. So, like, Undead, like, the reason why our Blight is so good for Acolytes is because, well, our base is very, like, vulnerable. And I feel like having Acolytes regenerating less is going to be much more harder to counter harasses like Mountain King Clap, like Chain Lightning or Legical Harass or whatever. So I could definitely see more potentially more Legical Harass and Undead Mirror in the future, because it will be a lot easier to kill Acolytes. I mean, am I totally against this? Obviously, I play Undead, so I don't like this, but I mean, I'm open-minded to see how it goes. If it's going to make a massive difference, so why not? You know, I mean, Acolyte, you know, got a lot of buffs in the previous patches, so like they're a lot quicker now. They regenerate more HP, so we'll see what happens. The hope is not the previous patch saw the regen rate on Blight double. This was to address the vulnerability of the unit being exposed and stationary while mining gold. As the overall spirit of the change was heading in the right direction, we're reducing the numbers slightly to allow for more harassment opportunities from the opposing player. So basically, just on the base, you can get more harass now. Pretty much it. Relevant increment circle down, reduced from 26 to 24. So now basically you can summon skeleton quicker with your rods, which is a change that they actually did last patch. Which, by the way, is the reason why other players are more tempted to play Crypt Lord right now, because DK got nerfed and the timings of like creeping and harassing got like now, for example, like again, like with Undead on maps like Council Hills, you would take so much more damage creeping the green camp early next to your base. And if you have a foodie harassing you early, which human players do, you would end up taking more damage on your DK, because you only have DK and 2 skeleton, and the creep is quite strong. So to recast another set of skeleton, that was really, really much more harder to do. It take like longer, so I feel like against Orc and Human, that was like where it was the most impactful. On the creeping was like much more slower. So I'm pretty glad they're reversing this. You know, I absolutely love DK. I love playing fast DK, like, you know, the so-called happy build. So I'm very happy that they actually admitted their mistake there and we're going back to the old one. So, I mean, it's a very good change. I mean, I'm very happy about this. Pretty sure we're going to see way more Death Knight being played in the future. Developers note, side calibration of the previous changes. We've noticed that this change has more effect on the creeping than intended. We're reducing its numbers slightly. Okay, that's good. Visual Dagger gold cost reduced from 125 to 100. I don't think that was necessary. I mean, it's cheaper to buy now. People already buy it with Crypt Lord, Ghouls, and Lich Ghoul. If you play Fast DK, you don't really buy it because it's quite expensive if you're going for the Fast DK Slow Fiend build. Make it to 100, I guess, puts it on the same scale as Salves and the Scroll of HP that Human has. So, I mean, I guess it's just fair to have it like that. I don't think it was necessary, but, I mean, it is what it is. It won't impact the game. It won't make it... It won't change anything, honestly. If anything, people will be probably even more likely to buy it now, even though people already buy it. There was no reducing the cost of Visual Dagger to promote its use more and to bring it cost in line with its healing performance. So basically, they're on the same scale as Solves and Human Scroll now. Cripple Impel stun duration reduced from 1 to 3 to 1 to 3 to 1 and 1.5 and 2. Cripple damage reduced from 75, 120, 165 to 60, 110, and then 150. Listen, man, Crippler is definitely too strong. Strongest hero in the game right now. He deserves to get nerfed. It is what it is, man. Undead will still get a very easy expo, regardless. With Crypt Lord, we have so many units early. It will be a little harder now to kill human heroes, because Crypt Lord and Pel Qual Nova was definitely very hard for human to save the heroes against that. Would I put it to 2 though at level 3? No, I would do 2.5 maybe. I think it'll be more fair. But we'll see how it goes, man. I think I'm gonna have to try it out. I think Crypt Lords will still be decent. It will not be overpowered though, that's for sure. We're bringing in the overall hero stun duration in line with other hero stun abilities. Please note, its overall stun duration against unit remain unchanged while looking at Impel and potentially changing on the units. Another faction, we notice that the threat of Impel damage is the main reason that certain strategies are viable against Undead. And the player that goes Crypt Lord first in level 5. That's very true. So basically, if you play Lich Ghoul against Crypt Lord, then you know, if you make a lot of goals against Crypt Lord, then like Impel will just like fuck you up massively. And then one Impel in your army is already like pretty low. And then it comes the second one, and you're already kind of dead. So I'm very happy to see this. Frost armor duration is now scaled per level. Frost duration 2 seconds. Frost duration 4 seconds. Frost duration 6 seconds. That is a massive problem. So I think when they did this, they had in mind that Mountain King was probably not played as much against Undead because of Frost armor. Also, Human makes a lot of foodie, so we definitely need Frost armor from time to time. It is a massive problem because when Knights comes out, Knights already walk really fast and they do a lot of damage. So Frost armor is like a way to slow down the Knights from running as quick as it does to catch up on the Fiends, right? But now if a Knight attacks your Fiend and he gets frosted for only 2 seconds, I feel like it really doesn't do much. So that's one thing. And with Knights being buff, it makes Knights even more powerful than they already are. Knights are very good units, man. Knight Gyro is absolutely a very good combination against Fiend and Destroyers. But now here comes the main issue. Like, the main issue is that against Orc, Frost Armor is the only way we can survive against Blade Master level 3 and Grunt, Speed Skull, and Shadowhunter and Snare. Or even Farseer Wolves. While we're tier 2 going to tier 3. So that is a massive issue with this. Is that I think against Orc is very hard to survive until tier 3. So by having these changes being made, I feel like this is going to have a massive impact on Undead versus Orc. It will also affect Undead against Human. Undead against Elf, not really. Undead against Undead, like, none either. They won't do anything. But man, this is a very dangerous thing to change, man. So I honestly don't think that Frost Armor should be touched whatsoever because we rely so much on it. Developers know it was something that the community has been requesting for some time, and the Lich levels up. This tuning makes ability slightly worse at level 1. The same as it is currently at level 2 and better at level 3. Now here's the thing. The thing is that when you're trying to survive against Orc, you don't have a Lich level 4 with Frost Armor level 2. And you don't have a Lich level 4 against Human when you're pushing either. You have a Lich level 1, level 2, level 3. And you go Nova level 2, so you have Frost Armor level 1. Which basically... So basically you have Frost Armor level 1, which is the one that is getting changed the most. So that's a massive problem. Boneyard no longer requires Sacrificial Pit. We currently believe that it takes too long on Frostworm to see play. This change should allow players to find strategies, use Frostworm, and also should help in the conjunction of the Night change in this patch. So basically with this change, this is going to encourage more players to play Lich, Ghouls, Garg, and Frostworms because you won't have to spend the lumber and the gold on making a Sacrificial Pit, which is very expensive lumber-wise. This is very interesting because, you know, Night Elf players used to have to make an Initiative win in order to make a Chimera Roost, to make Chimeras. So now basically it puts Boneyard on the same scale as a Chimera Roost, or on the same scale as Tauren, because Tauren used to be a Totem Tauren, which was only buildable at tier 3 for Orc. Now Taurens, you can build a Totem Tauren at tier 2 and get walkers out of it, and 10 Tauren at tier 3 when you reach at tier 3, right? So basically having this just makes it more fair. And also Human players can build Griffin Aviary at tier 2. And then when it's tier 3, they can make Griffin Aviary. So Boneyard was the only building that you could only build at tier 3 an entire game, right? So this is a very, very good change here for Frostworms. I definitely think we're gonna see a bit more Frostworms. We're gonna see maybe more air, more Gargs Frostworm, like I said. So like with Acolytes being nerf, with Frostworm being more playable, Frostworm usually are played with Gargs. I could definitely see Lich being a little bit, like, definitely be more played in the near future. I think my food is here. One sec. Okay, I still got Pentium. Alright. Also, we have Aluria's Flute of Accuracy, bonus reduced from... So basically, the aura items are being changed right now. This is very good, because aura items are such impactful into the game. Like, if you play Undead and you get Endurance Aura, and your opponent gets the Dead Knight Aura, then you've basically won the game, because you get a bonus damage, you attack quicker, and you move quicker. So it's so crazy, man. And also, like, if you get an item that if you get an aura that you already have, and the opponent creeps the other red, and he gets something that he doesn't have, then it is so strong, man. I'm very happy to see aura items being nerfed. I've been talking about this for about 2 years now. And basically now everything has been nerfed, so you get less damage from the Flute of Accuracy. You get less speed, movement speed, and attack speed from Django. The pipe, which gives you the mana, is less. So if, let's say you play Undead and you get a pipe, and you have statues, which gives you mana, you basically have almost mana aura level 2 from the Archmage, which is pretty crazy. Legion Doom Arm reduce. Bone Chime. Bone Chime is a very good item in Elf Mirror and Orc Mirror especially. The item is very impactful. And a melee mirror, like bears against bears, or Rider Grunts, Playmaster against the same thing. Warsome Drum. So armor also, like Light of Summon bonus reduce from 2 to 1.5. This one also is very, very impactful, man. Like you could definitely notice when it's like if you have like an upgrade, like one defense upgrade pretty much on your units. So it's very good. I think by the way, those items are still all very good. Like you want to keep them, you don't want to sell them by any means. Stormwind being plus 1.5 is still very good. It used to be +1 and people used to sell it, but I think people are definitely still gonna keep it. I know for sure I'm gonna keep it. All items resale percentage increase from 50% to 75% of the item original cost. Developers know these are probably the biggest change in its patches. We're making some changes to all the aura to remove their effectiveness. We believe that these aura items do have a place in the game, but should have parity and power to the actual ability. Also, due to the nature of some items being more impactful than others, we're increasing the sell rate of items to help mitigate some potential item bad luck that players may experience, which can ultimately determine the outcomes of the game. Yeah, man. So if you sell no items, you would get 250 gold. Now, if you sell it, you get 200 gold, pretty much. One main issue that also Remo has pointed, he said that now if you sell your TP at start, which by the way, Blade Master does, you get 262 gold right away, which is a lot of gold and could allow Blade Master to buy 2 circlets at start. Which is quite pretty crazy because Orc, Blade Master is already very oppressive early by selling TP, buying Speed Scroll, and buying items at the shop. So by selling TP, you already get a very stacked Blade Master very early on into the game. So I feel like if you're gonna make items sell for more, you should, like, that's fine. But try to like make it that when you sell your TP, you get like 150 gold from it, because I could definitely see being an issue. And also with Crippler as well, like when you sell your TP at start, you would get like way more gold early, which allows you to make more gold, buy more items and whatnot. So yeah, I would I'm very happy about this change, but it's a very good one. I think this is by far the best change of the entire patch. Hats off to Blizzard for this one, man. Everybody that talked to agreed that all items were too impactful, so very good change, guys. Bug fix. Fix an issue of inconsistent rally behavior on gold mines, which could reveal players' location during the fog of war. So basically, let's say you're Orc and you play against random. You could take a peon at start and you could press shift onto the gold mine of the map, and you could see where your opponents spawn at start if they play Undead or Night Elf, which obviously is a game-breaking bug. It's like cheating. So very cool to see Blizzard reacting to this and fixing the bug. I would like to see the bug being an odd fix though. I would like to see it fixed now, not in a month. I don't think this would be very hard to fix compared to everything else. So kind of sad we're gonna have to wait a month for this, because I know a lot of people who actually abuse this, and it's very, honestly, I think this is very wrong to do this. Even if it's not the player's fault, I still think that bug abusing is something that should not be allowed, because that's clearly not how the game is supposed to be played. One last thing I want to point out is we don't see any Orc changes into this patch, which is very worrying, because I think Orc is definitely a race that's getting under nerf in the previous patches, or be a very successful race in tournaments as of late as well. I would have loved to see Speed Scroll get a small change maybe, or seeing Headhunters get a nerf as well, because they're basically played in every matchup currently, and they're very, very good. Their range is very good. I think the cost of Headhunters could be increased, let's say, because like Headhunters, I think at tier 1 their cost is fine. But the fact that once you have Berserker upgrade, you can still produce them for 125 gold is very outrageous, because they're such good units. They run quick, they attack fast, they have a lot of range, and they do a lot of damage. So I would have loved to see an Hunter maybe being increased by 15 gold. Maybe that would have been like a good change. Maybe see a small Speed Scroll nerf, because they tend to run that Orc does with Raiders against Undead recently is absolutely crazy. Against human as well, against any race that is. So that would have been like something that I would have loved to see. Apart from that, I don't think anything should have been changed for Orc as a whole. Now, man, I think what's my overall thought of the patch? Obviously, I'm another player, so this is definitely not a patch I'm very happy about. I don't think Undead against human is broken like people are saying. I saw some stats early. Hold on, I'll try to pull out some stats right there. I saw some stats early that in tier 2, the tier 2 scene of pro players basically Like, just look at this. Like, I think it's like 51% win rate for Undead against human right now. Like in Save 2 tournaments. So is having 1% above human makes the matchup way better for human? No, it doesn't. I think the matchup is already pretty fair right now. I totally agree with the Crippler being nerfed against human. It is definitely an issue. However, I don't think that human needed all these buffs like knights, towers, and tanks and whatnot. And I definitely don't think that Frost Armor deserves to be nerfed. I think by just nerfing Crippler as a whole, you would definitely make the matchup way more balanced. And by giving us our old relevant currency back for Dead Knight, you will encourage Undead to play more Dead Knight. And you will see like less Crippler Cancer strategies being played. So I feel like it's a bit too aggressive on the Event vs Undead matchup. As we know, like this has obviously been pushed. Like this narrative has been pushed by Todd. Obviously, like he's always complaining about the matchup because he just cannot win against any Undead player that is on the same level as him. So, man, this is honestly, man, like this is this has been very influenced by human players right there. But man, this is my 2 cents. You know, I think most changes are okay. I think some are absolutely doesn't have a place. I'm very happy to see Blizzard making a patch. You know, I was a bit worried about Blizzard, you know, stopping a patch game after we heard about the team being disbanded at Blizzard. So very happy about that, man. I hope we can see maybe Mountain Giants being nerfed slightly, not too much, and Bears being buffed, so we can see less of these Mountain Giants that nobody likes to play against or whatever. We'd like to see some orc changes as well. But overall, man, very happy about the rod being back. Happy about Crippler being nerfed. I don't like playing it. I don't like playing against it either. Boneyard being added now. Frostworm, very happy. Gives us more versatility as an undead, which we've been lacking a lot in the last year. My favorite by far, the item change, man. Absolutely very good. Acolytes at point being nerfed. Not totally against it. Very open-minded about this one. Ritual Dagger, don't think it was necessary. Not against it either. It could be 130 gold. I'd be fine with it. So yeah, that's pretty much for my patch review. Please let me know if you like the video, man. Let me know if there's something more you want me to talk about. Maybe I can go more in depth in another video. Hope you guys like it. And you know, like recently I've been making a lot of jokes on Twitter. You know, try to roast Blizzard and everything for that. And I've made a lot of jokes on stream and everything. So you know, I feel like I owe you guys like an actual professional review. An actual like honest review of what I think about it, because you know, obviously just complaining and roasting the devs will definitely not do anything good. And I feel, you know, like you know, man, if you're a player and you're watching me right now, man, you want to put your opinion out there, man, you know, write a comment on Blizzard forums, write your opinion on Reddit threads, man, complaining on Twitter, complaining on Twitch chat, complaining on Discord will not change anything, man. You know, like you guys play a game, we all love this game, man. Like give them opinion, man, give them like constructive opinions. And this is how we're gonna get a better game collectively, and you know, we can keep playing this game for maybe another 21 years, you know, 20 years actually. So if you guys like the video, you know, tub it up. If you don't like it, tub it down. Please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys on my stream at Twitch TV/InSuperBowlW3. Give me a follow over there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, guys.